It's not you versus the world. It's not you versus your past. It's not you versus the people who doubt you. It's you versus you. That's the real battle. Not outside, inside. Because the greatest enemy you'll ever face is the version of you that settles, the version of you that makes excuses, the version of you that says maybe tomorrow. But the greatest champion you'll ever meet is also inside you, waiting, ready, hungry. Let me tell you something. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you become. And to become more, you must defeat the old you, the lazy you, the distracted you, the fearful you. This is not a battle of muscles. It's a battle of mindset, not a fight in the gym, a fight in the mirror. You don't need to beat others to win in life. You just need to beat the yesterday version of yourself. Every day, little by little, decision by decision. Because success is not loud. It's quiet. It happens when nobody is watching. When you choose discipline instead of comfort, effort instead of excuses, growth instead of distraction. Let me remind you, the pain of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. So the real question is not, can you do it? You already can. The real question is, can you say no to the old you long enough to meet the new you? That's the journey. You versus you. The only fight that truly matters. Let me begin with a simple but powerful truth. You will never be defeated by the world until you are defeated by yourself. Most people think the battle is out there against competition, against society, against circumstances. But the real opponent, the one who decides everything, lives inside the same skin you live in. And his name is the old you. You see, there are two versions of you living inside. The one who wants to grow, and the one who wants to stay comfortable. One wants to wake up early. The other wants 5 more minutes. One wants discipline. The other wants excuses. One wants success. The other just wants to feel good right now. And every day, without a referee, without a crowd, without applause, they fight. Not with fists, but with choices. Let me tell you a story. I once met a young man who said, "Mr. Rohn, I feel like I'm fighting myself every day." I said, "Good. That means the new you has finally shown up." Because there was a time in his life where he didn't fight at all. Why? Because he was losing by default. No resistance. No discipline. No standards. He told me something I never forgot. The enemy wasn't outside me, Mr. Rohn. The enemy was the version of me that was okay with being average. And maybe that's you. Not a bad person. Not a weak person. Just not the updated version of yourself yet. You see, the old you loves comfort. The new you loves growth. The old you says, do it tomorrow. The new you says, do it now. The old you is emotional. The new you is intentional. The old you wants pleasure. The new you wants progress. And the question is not, can you win against others? The question is, can you finally win against the person you used to be? That's the real battle. Not you versus other people. Not you versus your past. Not you versus the economy, but you versus your own habits. You versus your excuses. You versus your comfort zone. You versus the voice that says, rest, don't improve. Slow down, don't grow. I call that voice the old you, and he never disappears. You don't kill him, you outgrow him. Every time you choose discipline over laziness, the old you gets weaker. Every time you keep your word, the old you loses power. Every time you do what needs to be done, not what you feel like doing, the new you gets stronger. The battle is won in small decisions. Wake up or sleep in. Read or scroll. Exercise or avoid. Work or procrastinate. Speak growth or speak excuses. Success is not one big event. It's a quiet war inside you, fought in silence, won in private, but rewarded in public. So let me ask you, who are you really fighting every day? Is it your boss? Is it your family? Is it the system? Or is it the version of you that refuses to level up? The version satisfied with Good enough? The version that waits instead of works? The version that dreams but never acts? Because here's the truth. Your future is not waiting for a better world. It's waiting for a better you. Write this somewhere. The old me created my problems. The new me will create my success. Yes, the old you made mistakes, but the new, you can fix them. Yes, the old you wasted time, but the new you can redeem it. Yes, the old you lived by emotion, but the new you can live by standards. And one day you will look back and say, the best thing I ever did was stop trying to be better than others and start trying to be better than who I was yesterday. That's the battle. That's the mission. That's the work. Win against yourself today, and the world is easy tomorrow. Inside every human being, there are two voices. One is the voice of growth. The other is the voice of comfort. One says, let's go. The other says, let's wait. One whispers, do it now. The other whispers, you can do it later. And every day, without fail, you decide which voice gets to lead your life. Let me tell you a story. A young man once asked me, Mr. Rohn, why do I know what to do but still don't do it? I said, you're not confused. You're in a conversation. And right now, the wrong voice is winning. Because knowing is easy. Doing is the battle. The first voice, the voice of discipline, sounds like this. Wake up. Start now. You said you would. Do the hard thing. Keep going. The second voice, the voice of excuses, sounds like this. You're tired. You deserve a break. You can start tomorrow. No one will know. It's not that important. And the frightening part? Both voices sound like you. The voice of discipline is your future self calling you forward. The voice of excuses is your past trying to pull you back. One leads to progress. One leads to regret. One builds your future. One destroys your potential. One creates strength. One creates weakness. Here's the truth most people avoid. It's not the world that stops you. It's the voice inside you that convinces you to stop. Not because it hates you, but because it fears change. Excuses are simply fear in disguise. And fear always speaks louder. But discipline always speaks truth. Now, what makes the difference? Which voice you feed. You feed the voice of excuses with comfort. You feed the voice of discipline with discomfort. You feed excuses with instant pleasure. You feed discipline with long-term vision. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you strengthen the voice that wants you to stay average. Every time you say, I'll do it now, you strengthen the voice that wants you to become unstoppable. Let me share another story. I knew a man who woke up at 5 a.m. every day, not because he loved mornings, but because he hated the voice that said, stay in bed. He told me, Mr. Rohn, I don't wake up early because I feel like it. I wake up early because I refuse to negotiate with the part of me that wants comfort. That's the mindset of a winner. I don't let the voice of excuses lead my life. I let the voice of purpose lead my life. You cannot silence the voice of excuses, but you can out-talk it. You do that by building habits stronger than emotions. You do that by choosing promises over feelings. You do that by acting even when you don't feel motivated. Because motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Motivation shows up when it wants to. Discipline shows up even when you don't want to. Ask yourself, which voice won this morning? Which voice won yesterday? Which voice is shaping your future? Because one voice is keeping you the same, and the other voice is building the person you know you can be. Let me give you a powerful sentence. Excuses sound best to the person who makes them, but discipline sounds best to the person who becomes great because of it. One voice gives you comfort today, but discomfort tomorrow. The other gives discomfort today, but a life you can be proud of tomorrow. So here's the real question. Which voice are you strengthening? The voice that says, I can't, I'm tired, I don't feel like it? Or the voice that says, I made a promise, I will follow through, I will not lose to myself? Because the future belongs to the person who can say, I hear the excuses, but I obey the mission. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to choose. Every day, every decision, every moment. One voice will make you average. One voice will make you unstoppable. The hardest battle you'll ever fight isn't in the boardroom. It isn't on the field. It isn't against competitors or circumstances. It's in the first 10 minutes of your day. Those moments when your eyes open, the bed is warm, the world is quiet, and the old you whispers, "Stay, rest, relax, you can start tomorrow." This is the daily fight. The fight between the you who wants comfort and the you who wants greatness. Let me tell you a story. I once met a man named Thomas. He was brilliant, ambitious, full of potential, but every morning he stayed in bed. Every morning he delayed action. Every morning he let the old you win. He told me, "Mr. Rohn, I know I should work on myself. I know I should read, plan, and grow, but I just don't." I nodded, and I said, "That's the voice of your past self holding the future self hostage, and you've been negotiating with it for too long." The key to defeating the old you every morning is ritual and resolve. It starts before motivation. It starts before inspiration. It starts before coffee. It starts with a decision. Decide, I will not lose today to yesterday. Decide, I will act, even when I don't feel like it. Decide, I will honor the promise I made to myself. Because the old you never sleeps. He waits in the warmth of the bed. He waits in the comfort of excuses. He waits in the shadows of your doubt. And if you do not fight, he wins by default. Thomas made a choice one morning. The alarm rang at 5 a.m. He hit snooze twice. Then a thought struck him. Either I fight or I stay the same for the next 5 years. He got up. He read for 30 minutes. He planned his day. He exercised. He didn't feel like it. He wasn't motivated, but he did it anyway. And that day, he felt a spark, a sense of ownership, a sense of control, a sense of victory before the world even knew he had started. Here's the truth. Every morning is a test. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how motivated you feel. What matters is which version of you gets to lead the day. Old you, comfortable. Excuses, delay. New you, courage, action, commitment. Every single morning, you are writing a page in the story of who you are becoming. Let me break it down in practical steps. 1. Wake up early. Even if you don't feel like it. Even if it's hard. Even if your bed feels like heaven. The early hours belong to winners. This is when the old you tries to sneak past. 2. Start with one small win. Read one page. Write one sentence. Do one push-up. Small victories every morning accumulate to unstoppable momentum. 3. Face the resistance. Old, you will whisper, "I'll rest later." You deserve it. You've earned it. Say, "Not today. I earn my future now." 4. Plan your day. Write 3 priorities. Decide what matters most. Follow through. This trains the new you to lead instead of reacting. 5. Celebrate discipline, not feeling. Every morning you beat the old you win. The reward isn't in the comfort. It's in the sense of mastery over yourself. Thomas fought for 30 days straight. Every morning, even on weekends, even when sick, even when tired. By day 31, he told me, "Mr. Rohn, I don't struggle with mornings anymore. I feel wrong if I don't do it. I feel like I'm cheating myself if I stay in bed." That's what happens when you defeat the old you. You build a version of yourself that leads, that decides, that wins, before the world even shows up. Remember this. The old you is not evil. He just wants comfort. The new you is not a hero. He just wants growth. The fight is quiet. It is personal. It is unseen. And it is life-changing. Ask yourself tonight, tomorrow morning, which you will wake up? Will it be the version that hits snooze? Or the version that rises, reads, plans, and takes action? Because every day you win the morning, you win your life. Every day you lose the morning, you lose your future. Win the first 10 minutes, and the rest of your life follows. Let me start with a simple truth. You don't become who you want to be overnight. You become who you are by the person you choose to be today. Most people try to change their life. Few try to change themselves. And the difference is enormous. Because the real battle isn't with your circumstances. It isn't with your job. It isn't with the world. The battle is inside you. It's the war between the old you and the new you. The war between excuses and commitment. The war between weakness and discipline. I remember a man I once mentored. Let's call him Michael. Michael came to me frustrated. I keep trying, Mr. Rohn, he said. I keep failing. I get motivated, then quit. I don't understand why I can't stick to it. I asked him a question. Who do you want to be, Michael? He paused and then whispered, I want to be the person who doesn't quit. The person who follows through no matter what. I nodded. Good, I said. Then the battle isn't about habits or skills. It's about identity. Who you see yourself as every day. Identity is powerful. It dictates what you do, even when you don't feel like it. It shapes your choices. It decides your standards. It whispers, I don't negotiate with mediocrity. Until you adopt the new you as your identity, you'll keep losing to the old you. Michael's problem wasn't laziness. It wasn't lack of knowledge. It wasn't lack of opportunity. It was that he still saw himself as the old man who gave up, who procrastinated, who settled. The day he embraced a new identity, everything changed. Here's how it works. Every time you make a choice, you are telling yourself, I am disciplined. I am consistent. I am the type of person who follows through. I am someone who honors promises to myself, even if your feelings disagree, even if the old you protests. Because feelings follow identity, not the other way around. Let me tell you a story. A young woman named Lisa came to me. She wanted to start a business. She was terrified. She doubted herself. She feared failure. I asked, who are you when no one is watching? She paused and said, I'm the one who gives up. I'm the one who fears too much. I said, then, that is the version of you you're fighting every day. The question is, do you want to remain her or become someone new? Lisa made a decision. She decided, I am a person who acts, even when afraid. I am a person who learns and grows. I am a person who will not quit. From that moment, she stopped negotiating with fear. She started acting, step by step, decision by decision, action by action. And slowly, the new Lisa replaced the old Lisa. The voice of fear lost power. The voice of excuses disappeared. The voice of purpose and commitment became her identity. This is the power of the new you. 1. Consistency becomes easy. Because you are the person who does the work, you don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for energy. You act because it's who you are. 2. Discipline becomes automatic. Because you no longer negotiate with your weaknesses. Your standards become your identity. You rise every morning. You follow your plan. You do what must be done. 3. Fear loses its power. Because fear is only a voice, and the new you refuses to obey it. You take action anyway. You grow anyway. You learn anyway. 4. Regret disappears because the new you honors commitments to self. Every choice reflects your standards. Every action builds confidence. Every day is proof that you are becoming who you are meant to be. Michael and Lisa's stories are not unique. They are ordinary people, just like you. The difference is identity. Once you adopt a new identity, the inner war is over. You will still hear the old you. He will whisper, take it easy. You deserve comfort. But you will no longer listen. Because you are now someone who doesn't negotiate with mediocrity. You are someone who follows through. You are someone who leads yourself first, before leading the world. Remember this. Success is not doing what others do. Success is doing what your old self couldn't do. Every decision you make in alignment with the new you is a small victory. Every habit you reinforce strengthens your identity. Every day you honor your standards, the new you becomes unstoppable. So today I challenge you, decide who you are. Adopt that identity fully. Live as that person in every small choice. and watch as the world begins to respond to the person you have become. Because you cannot rise above who you think you are. And once you change your thinking, you change your identity. You change your life. Win the inner war, and the outer world will follow. The greatest victory you will ever experience is not winning a competition. It is not earning more money. It is not achieving recognition or fame. The greatest victory is conquering yourself. Defeating the old you, mastering the inner battle that nobody sees. Because when you conquer yourself, the world has no choice but to follow. Let me tell you a story. I once knew a man named Daniel. Daniel struggled with procrastination. He struggled with fear. He struggled with self-doubt. For years, he tried to change his life. And for years, he failed. Until one day, he realized something powerful. The world won't change for me. People won't motivate me forever. The only power I have is over myself. From that day forward, Daniel made a choice. I will become the person who does what must be done, regardless of how I feel. And slowly, miracles began to appear. The first victory Daniel experienced wasn't external. It wasn't a promotion, a business deal, or public recognition. It was internal. He woke up one morning, and the old you whispered, "Stay in bed. You're tired. You deserve it." Daniel smiled and said quietly, "Not today." He got out of bed. He completed his morning routine. He read, wrote, planned, and acted. That single decision was victory, because it was a choice over himself, a victory over excuses, a triumph over fear. And here's the truth. Life rewards the person who shows up. Life rewards the person who is consistent. Life rewards the person who follows through, even when no one is watching. Life rewards the person who conquered himself first, not the person who waits for motivation, not the person who waits for inspiration, not the person who waits for the world to align perfectly. The world gives to the person who gives to themselves first. The world rewards the one who builds discipline. The world honors the one who has mastered their mind, body, and habits. Daniel continued his journey. He faced obstacles. He faced setbacks. He faced moments where he wanted to quit, but every time, he remembered his inner victory. I've defeated the old me. I've conquered my excuses. I've chosen to act when it's hard. And every time he remembered that, he moved forward. He didn't stop. He didn't hesitate. Because once you conquer yourself, hesitation disappears. Once you conquer yourself, fear loses its voice. Once you conquer yourself, success becomes inevitable. Let me share another truth. The victory is quiet at first. Nobody notices. It looks small. It looks insignificant. But the rewards compound. The habits strengthen. The identity solidifies. And over time, the small victories of discipline and commitment grow into extraordinary results. Daniel eventually built a life he once thought impossible. He achieved goals, touched lives, and created opportunities. But it all started with one morning, with one choice, with one victory over himself. Here's what conquering yourself requires. 1. Consistency over motivation. Do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Motivation comes and goes. Consistency builds results. 2. Obedience to your principles. Your principles are stronger than your emotions. Follow them. Respect them, honor them, and your life will follow suit. 3. Embrace the discomfort. Change always feels uncomfortable at first. Excuses whisper. Fear protests. But discomfort is the gateway to mastery. 4. Celebrate small wins. Every time you defeat the old you, celebrate silently. Every victory is a brick in the foundation of your success. 5. Lead yourself before leading others. Before you can lead a team, a family, or a business, you must lead the most important person, yourself. Here's the message I want you to take with you today. You will always face the old you. You will always face fear, doubt, and excuses. But when you consistently choose the new you, life rewards you in ways you never imagined. Your victory isn't measured by applause. It isn't measured by recognition. It isn't measured by comparison. It is measured by how often you win the inner war. It is measured by how many days you chose action over comfort. It is measured by how true you stayed to the person you decided to become. And one final story. A woman named Rachel was paralyzed by fear. She wanted to start her dream business, but she doubted herself. She asked me, "Mr. Rohn, how do I know I will succeed?" I told her, "You don't, but you can conquer yourself today. You can choose courage over fear. You can act even when you're scared. And that choice will lead you to success, guaranteed." Rachel followed through. She started. She acted. She refused to quit. And the victory she felt was far greater than any business achievement, because she had won over herself. And once you win over yourself, the rest of life simply follows. The final lesson is clear. Life rewards the one who conquers themselves first. Win the morning. Win the inner battle. Become the new you, and the world will give you the victory you've earned. Remember, success is predictable. Not magic. Not luck. It's consistency. It's discipline. It's the person you choose to become. Conquer yourself, and everything else will follow. As we come to the end of this journey, remember this: the hardest battle you will ever fight is the battle within. It's not against the world. It's not against circumstances. It's you versus you. Every morning you rise, you make a choice. Every day you act, you reinforce who you are. Every challenge you face, you either grow or you stay the same. Victory belongs to the one who shows up. Discipline belongs to the one who acts when it's hard. Success belongs to the one who conquers themselves before conquering anything else. Carry this lesson with you. Win the mornings. Win the inner battles. Become the person who doesn't quit, who doesn't settle, who leads themselves first. Because when you master yourself, the world has no choice but to follow. Remember, you are your own competition. Beat yourself today, and life will reward you tomorrow. Now go forward. Act, decide, conquer. The new you is waiting.